Reforged Ultra Test 4 is upon us, and I am pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the user interface is now looking very, very familiar, but there is still one element of this user interface that I think needs to be looked at, and we are going to discuss that in this video. And to do so, I'm going to take the T22 into a battle here and show you what the problem is. This is the issue for me. It's the amount of space that is taken up on the screen by the user interface. The team names, the graphics at the top, even the mini map are much larger than they are in the current game. And this is just using the default settings. We're going to compare this to World of Tanks Blitz in a moment, and then I'll show you how you can actually increase the size of these graphics if you really wanted to. But for me, there needs to be an option to reduce these in size because they are just occupying far too much of the screen. Let me show you a comparison now to the current game so you can see how much it differs. What we've got here are some screenshots from Friday Night Brawl live stream that I did. So there's no funny business here with manipulation of any of the screens. We've got the battles from the same live stream. And this is the Ultra Test, and I have taken the liberty of blocking out in yellow here the parts of the screen that are covered up with the user interface. And you can see it's quite large, but to compare that to World of Tanks Blitz, we've got a game here with a screen grab that shows the E100 in action, and I've used the blue blocks here to mark out the areas covered by the user interface on World of Tanks Blitz. Again, both using the default settings, and when we overlay these over each other, then you can see that the yellow areas for Reforged are substantially larger than the blue areas for World of Tanks Blitz. And I would much rather see more of the battlefield than more user interface. And I really think that this is something that Wargaming need to address. Now, of course, you can change the settings of the user interface in Reforged, but it is not going to help in any way as far as I'm concerned. Let's have a look and I'll show you what I mean. We need to go to the settings here to make the changes. Let's do that now. Into the graphics, and you will see down here the UI scaling is currently set to 100%. Let's just change that to 200 to emphasize the point, noting we can't go down from 100%. And you can see that everything on the screen is so much bigger in fact that my credits here are covering the store, and I'm not really sure I can get into the store, so that's a good enough reason there, Wargaming, for you to make some changes here, because it may stop people from accessing the store, heaven forbid. But let's go into a battle and see how much more of the screen is now taken up. Having changed the user interface to 200%, there you have it. Absolutely massive. You can barely see any of the battlefield at all. The mini map is the massive map. In fact, my ammunition icons are covering some of the player names, and there is just, in my opinion, far too much space being taken up on the screen here by the graphics. Certainly when you compare it to World of Tanks Blitz as it is at the moment. That's enough about what I think. What matters most is what you think, and do you agree with me? Do you think this user interface just takes up far too much of the screen? And what do you think about Ultra Test 4? Is it making changes that you like? Is the game moving in the right direction? Again, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, if you've enjoyed this content, please don't forget to subscribe.